welcome back. Call of Duty kicks you after 30 minutes of streaming sometimes, because it's a shared streaming community, and that makes sense, so they're just going to toss you every now and then. Alright, well, back to vamping. I was talking about haters. Talk about whatever right now. This is an atrocious stream. The last three have just been bad. I haven't had anything. I haven't made myself a better person, better streamer, better entertainer. Let me just call myself an entertainer. That's a joke if I've ever heard one. But yeah, I think having people dislike you and what you do is one of the coolest things ever, because it means that you're making an impact and people are jealous and want to be you. Or you're just making awful content, but it makes you happy, so why not? Okay, playing on Raid. Raid, probably the best competitive map I've seen. I don't want to say ever in Call of Duty, but definitely on this game. It definitely allows for all game modes to be played. Cap the Flag is the only time I've ever enjoyed it is on this map. I think Search and Destroy is incredible on this map. I think Dom is fun, Demolition is fun. The spawn camps aren't too bad. You can kind of get them behind the wall on the A side right here, but other than that, the spawns are pretty lenient and they're pretty kind. And you have this cool little gunplay right here where, you know, you get sniped through the hole right there, which is unfortunate, but it happens. And there's the alleyways. Please kill him. Oh, come on, dude. Really? I put like a million shots in him. You couldn't finish that off? You couldn't finish that off. Really, man? Killing me. Alright. Where's he at? Alright, don't chase shots. That's fine. Let's see. What we got? So, Raid. Fun map. Fun competitive play. Probably the best map for League outside of Standoff. Nuketown wasn't in League. League was the competitive play that no one really had some fun buzz. It was something to do after you kind of beat all the pub matches. Awesome, my Twitch stream just like killed itself. That's cool. Alright, well this has been disappointing, to say the least. Just need to get a capture card. Just need to invest in a capture card, in all honesty. Cool, man, I died. Awesome. I'm just frustrated. It's been a big day. It's been a big couple days. It's been a big week. It's gonna be a big week. Shotguns are fun. So I'm just frustrated with the world. Call of Duty is one of those games. It's not one you want to play when you're a little rattled. It does not translate well to being frustrated with anything. Because it just makes you way madder, unless you're like really good, unlike me, who I'm awful. But like, if you're like really good, and it's like, you just kick it, and you just kill everyone, and you feel good about yourself, like, yeah man, go for it. But people that are bad, like myself, it's frustrating. Because you're just like, well, why am I doing this to myself? Why do I hate myself? Like, what am I doing? Please expose more of yourself, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, that's okay. Alright, UAV assists are my bae. Shotguns make me happy. Okay, cool. Alright, let's see where they at. Oh, well, you know. Let's get out of here. Hellstorm missile inbound. Hellstorm missile inbound. Get him. Gotta get him. Got that three-piece swag. Three-piece chicken McNuggets.
Securing C. Be advised, hostile lightning strike inbound.
That guy's dead.
Securing Charlie.
I don't know. It's a fun map, fun game. What else can I talk about? Talk about like some movies or something? Have I seen any movies? A little movie talk? I'll have some movie vamping. What do we talk about? We talk about like Guardians. That movie came out like 7 months ago. Yeah, Hank, talk about Guardians. Good call, man. What a streamer. What a YouTuber. What an entertainer. Please give this guy all the internet monies, because he's such an entertainer.
UAV
Jesus
awaiting
Christ, Hank,
orders.
really? Oh, I had another MTAR.
Lost A.
Waypoint mark.
Alright, movies. Well, what do we got? Well, I've recently seen Gone Girl. That was awesome. Saw Fury as well. Equally awesome.
Kill confirmed.
Losing Bravo.
So yeah, movies. Great movie talk, Hank. Great movie talk.
Bravo.
I don't know. Shotguns.
Check and clear.
Shotguns. Ah, 2 viewers in the chat. 1 follower, I think? Is that how that works? Hey, 1 follower, 2 viewers. I am one of them. Haley's the other one.
Securing B.
Liam's in here too. We're having a good time. This will not be up on
Securing
YouTube.
Bravo.
This is just
Securing A.
one of those Twitch videos that no one will watch.
Charlie. Time's almost up.
So, yeah, I'm really surprised with how good the connection is right now. I'm rocking a 4-bar, which even at home I couldn't get very well because I played off wireless, but still it was better than wired, whatever the heck I have here.
B. Losing Alpha.
It's kind of hard
B secure.
Tac reload.
to play Call of Duty with any sort of lag or any
Storm
form of
missile on standby.
not fast play.
On standby.
Waste of my lightning strike.
Squad, get ready for the next round.
Alright, talk. I'm talking more.
Changing.
Halftime.
Don't copy the crew stuff. How about the gambler? Hank listening went on YouTube. You play on Walmart connection.
Secure the objective.
Is it lagging?
Securing A. Enemy took Charlie.
I can talk about the gambler. That's a good call from my chat. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, we can talk about the gambler. We can talk about that not good movie. I'm sorry if you like that movie, but you're wrong. It's bad. It's just it's a pretty generic like drama talkie movie where they're trying to make it like the stakes are so high and there's this grand scheme, and I was like, oh, maybe this is gonna turn into a shotguns heist movie, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be awesome, and I was really pumped, and I went to see it at 10:45 at night on I think a Wednesday or a Tuesday, like just a random weekday. There was literally no one there, and we just walk in and we're just like, yes, private theater, meet a group of friends, and just this one dude, this older gentleman, not older but middle-aged, maybe 30 at the young, like, he was like 40, 50. I'm just jumping all over the spectrum, but like he walked in, bigger dude, sat down, and we're all just like, well,
Securing B.
like we couldn't just be jerks the whole movie, and
Check and clear.
it didn't matter because it was pretty bad. Not a whole lot to take away from that film, except for Mark Wahlberg is trying really hard to be a serious melodrama actor,
Securing A.
and he doesn't need to do that because he's a badass, and that's not really his style of movie. I think he's trying to cross over it a little bit more,
UAV
but
awaiting
I don't know. I think he's really good
hostile lightning
in
strike
action
inbound.
movies, in movies about Boston. I think he's really good in movies about Boston, but I think just he's trying to do too much
Lightning strike on standby.
with that style. Get him.
Storm missile on standby.
I don't know. It was alright. John Goodman's part was really cool. He was like this older guy,
Inbound.
and he had a really cool speech about getting a certain position of FU, where you get enough money, someone messes with you, F you. You know, like, I got enough money. I thought that was a pretty cool little speech. It was definitely the only part of that movie I took away, except for the very cute blonde girl who was also in 21 Jump Street, was a little bit more grown up, and she's not looking bad. We'll just say that. She was looking really good. She's one of the few parts of that movie that we
All flags secured.
particularly
Maintenance
enjoyed.
posture.
She was looking good in that film.
Losing B.
Other than that, there was not a lot going on. Mark Wahlberg was like gambling away all his money,
This fight.
and Sarah Larson, I think her name is, from American Horror Story was in it, and she was like his mom,
Losing
but like
Alpha.
I don't know, it didn't really make sense that she was the mom, because her as an actor, she's kind of in that darker, matriarchal kind of, like, sense that's, like, kind of how people perceive her. And in the movie, she was just kind of like Mark Wahlberg's mom, who gave him a bunch of money for no real reason, so that he could get out of debt or something. But, like, she was only in, like, I think 3 scenes. I think it was kind of a waste for her to be there. I feel like if they wanted her there, they should have used her more. And maybe she was trying to control Mark Wahlberg's character, or, like, make him stop, or, you know, whatever. But she was just kind of there. She gave him money one time.
He's gone.
But, other than that, not a really good movie. The John Goodman speech was kind of cool. I thought the casting for... So, there's, like, 2 different people that Mark Wahlberg... 3 different people Mark Wahlberg owes money to. One of them is a Korean gangster, and the other one is John Goodman, and another one is this black dude from a different movie. I saw him the other day in a movie. Oh no, he was in an episode of Law and Order, and I was like, oh, that's the dude from The Gambler. And I was really non-specific, but he was like a pimp or something. And I don't know, it was weird. Like, Mark Wahlberg was trying to pay everyone off, but like he was doing it like super shady, and like wasn't exactly like being truthful about it. And he was using this basketball player who he taught in English class to like help him out. And the plot was really weird, and no one said anything. Like, Mark Wahlberg just kind of did stuff without like any motivation whatsoever, and he like ends up paying off everyone. Like, he plays like a couple games of blackjack and makes, I don't know, $100,000, and then he bets it all on black on the roulette table, and he wins, and everyone gets paid off, and everyone's happy, and Mark Wahlberg like runs away in the sunset, like to the beach or something. It's really weird. I didn't really understand why. Like, it was one of these movies where they were trying to make it seem much more important and much more grandier than it actually was, and that was kind of annoying, because you're like, alright, movie, like, whatever, like, no one cares. And also, almost had a private theater, and then people walked in, which sucked, but one of my boys to my right ended up falling asleep in the middle of the movie, because the movie didn't end until 1 o'clock, I think, and it was New Year's Day, so he was up all night and that whole morning. And dude just passed out, like, within the first scene of the movie. He was gone. No, I think he made it about half an hour in, and then just slept for the rest of the movie. So I paid $9 to have a comfy little nap at the Cinemark. That was pretty funny. I don't know. Not a good movie. Would not suggest it. Trying to see American Sniper. Seating would have been on the front row, and nobody. But yeah, not the best movie of the year. Not winning any Oscars. I mean, John Goodman was a badass, and I think that was kind of cool. Dude put on a lot of weight. I don't know if that was just naturally. I doubt it was for the role, but like, he was just like huge. So that was kind of funny. I don't know. It was a weird movie. Like I said, like, the chick from 21 Jump Street was cool. She's looking really cool and like good and stuff, and she pulled off the nerdy look well. She also, I think in the first scene, she was in like this black dress or whatever and had her hair all done, and she looked awesome like that. And I wish we would have seen more of that, but we saw mostly nerdier college students, which, you know, is fine. She looked good as well. Not quite as good as in that first scene when she had like her hair pulled up and she was in like a kimono or something. But, you know, that wasn't really her character. That was another part that really confused me. Was, so Mark Wahlberg goes to like these sketchy like gambling clubs the Koreans run, I do believe. And for some reason, one of his students, the blonde chick for 21 Jump Street, who honestly I don't remember her character's name. No one, I don't I just call them by whatever the hell I know them as, and she's like a waitress there or something. It was really weird, like, and she just like sees her and you're like, maybe like that's his girlfriend or maybe like they broke up or whatever, and then like later on you see this blonde chick that like sorta looks like her in his like English class, which I don't understand why he was an English teacher if it was a movie about a gambler. Like, I kind of went into the movie expecting that he would be like a math teacher and it would kind of be like 21, to where he kind of like has like a heist movie, and I don't know, he like trains his students to like steal the money back, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be cool, it's gonna be like a thriller, like awesome. Nope. Talkie wins all the money back, movie over, no repercussions, no nothing. Just movie just like ends. He's like just runs away. It's weird. It's just I thought the tone of the movie was a little bit all over the place, and I just didn't care for it. Just one of those, just it was trying so hard to be more than it was, and it was really stretching what Mark Wahlberg can do, which, you know, I appreciate that when actors try and step out of their comfort zone, but it was just Mark Wahlberg just looking like sad, not so much sad, but just like kind of like asshole-y all the time, and just, I don't know, I didn't like it. I think my favorite Mark Wahlberg performance was in the trailer for Entourage. I think I'm much more excited for that movie than I was than I was satisfied with the what's it called movie. I don't know. It was just a disappointing film. I mean, go and see it. I mean, it's interesting just to see the John Goodman parts are worth it, and I think Sarah Paulson or whatever does her job well, even though she's like, I don't know, she was okay, and I thought she was good there. I thought the chick from 21 Jump Street was awesome, but otherwise I just thought the movie was kind of bland. There's nothing really brag about. However, I did see another film the week prior to that. I saw Fury, the Shia LaBeouf Brad Pitt tank movie. Holy crap, was that a great movie. Was that so awesome. It was so cool. It was like, they were in tanks and we're like blowing up Germans, but like, we like have this romanticized idea of what World War II was like, and everyone thinks of it as like this grand war where we're so elegant and our men were so good and righteous and all this crap, and like, it just portrayed like, you know, American soldiers as, you know, soldiers not properly trained, and they were just, you know, just assholes. They threw up on the line and said go fight, but instead of go fight, they're like, go use this tank and kill German tanks, which was a daunting task because the German tanks, the Panzers initially, and then the Tigers were incredible machines and were just so powerful. There wasn't a lot of them, but the ones that there were, were very deadly and very usable. And it was just like so awesome to see Brad Pitt as like this commanding officer, and to see Shia LaBeouf actually give a damn while acting, and not just stuttering through another awesome Transformers movie. So that was really cool. He got like super into the role. His hair was all messy. He like pulled out one of his own teeth at one point. I know he cut himself to like give this idea of like realism. Dude, Fury was so good. Alright, so quick plot summary. There's 4 dudes in a tank. The dude from that LA cop movie whose name with Jake Gyllenhaal, who's his partner, whose name I can't remember, and was in it. What's his name? The tall dude. What was the tall dude from? Anyway, Shia LaBeouf was in it, and he was like this like Missouri back home super religious guy, and Brad Pitt was like this commander that just like didn't give an F, but like he loved his men and he loved the tank, and he would never let anything happen to him, but he's kind of like a jerk, and that he just didn't care about anyone else. And then the tall dude was what was the tall guy in? He was in another thing. oh my, that's just gonna sneak up on me at some point. But like, he was great. He was, like this really like dumb guy with a weird haircut. He was kind of a brute, and he wasn't very nice. And he's like super into chicks, like a little, almost like a little bit too much. And they have this fourth guy who they really don't talk too much or talk about much because he dies in the first act of the movie. And they have to get a new assistant driver to like man the front gun and help with navigation, all that kind of stuff. So they just pull a random typist off the line of commands, and they're just like, all right, well, you drive tanks now, so good luck, buddy. And that was pretty funny. He was just thrown into it, and Brad Pitt saw that this kid was scared shitless because it was kind of the final frontier push on Germany, and it was kind of on like the Germans' decline and all this kind of stuff. And this kid is just scared out of his mind because he signed up to just essentially just type stuff and do coding and stuff, and they're asking him to jump in the front seat of a tank and with a bunch of guys that have been together since Africa, and like just become one of them. And he has a really hard time integrating. And about halfway through the movie, they well, before that actually, so they go into a fight, and the guy kind of sucks, and he almost gets them killed a couple times. Like, he gets their CEO killed, who's this young kid straight out of the academy that none of the other commanders like, because he's like this new kid who's like trying to tell them how to do stuff. And he gets him killed because he sees kids in the forest with panzer strikes and doesn't do anything about it, and like doesn't shoot them when he should have. Gets their CO killed, and then later on, they have to defend a group of troops that's pinned down, and he eventually... Oh, it was Inglourious Bastard. Thank you, chat. Inglourious Bastards. But, where is it going? They capture this German who's SS, I think, and they hate the SS because the SS are just awful, terrible. So prisoners, they're awful, terrible. They've seen some of the concentration camps. So, like, they find him, and everyone just wants to kill this guy. Like, he's a dead man. But Brad Pitt wants the new kid to learn something and, like, earn this confidence back and, like, understand that they're fighting bad guys. And so he shoves his gun in the kid's hand and makes him shoot the dude and, like, throws him to the ground and, like, tells him how he needs to be a man and all this kind of stuff. And it's really emotional. It's a really powerful scene. I really liked it. It's probably one of the better scenes. And Brad Pitt did a really good job, and not like just becoming Brad Pitt. He was like just being a good actor, which I think a lot of good actors struggle with. Is like you see the movie and like, oh, that's the actor, they're not the character, which is kind of annoying sometimes. But yeah, so that was cool. And then another scene about I think literally halfway through, probably my favorite scene is when Brad Pitt goes. They save a town of German folk, I do believe. And Brad Pitt sees a lady in the window, and she's like, he goes up to that apartment, and they like storm in, and you're like, oh crap, they're gonna like force themselves on this poor girl, and they find her cousin, who's a very pretty blonde girl, and it's kind of scary because you're just sitting there in this dead quiet, and Brad Pitt knows a little bit or Brad Pitt speaks fluent German, so like he tells them to like sit and all this stuff, and you're like scared, like what's gonna happen? Are these guys just gonna be total pricks? Are they gonna force themselves on these poor girls that have seen so much? And Brad Pitt, all he does is he just asks the main girl, to just make them some eggs, and like he's just trying to have a nice home meal, and just trying to like take himself out of the war and the chaos. And the new kid is playing the piano, or the new kid is like an intelligent person, so like an intelligent kid. He's classically trained and all this crap, can type, play the piano, and he goes over to the piano in the apartment and starts playing it, and the really pretty blonde girl, she like, oh, this is cool, so she starts singing along with him, and about halfway through the song, the other two guys from the tank storm in, and they're really pissed off because Brad Pitt's being partial to this kid, and they've been with Brad Pitt for so long, and they think he's holding out on them because he doesn't like them or something. And it's this whole emotional scene with the characters are just going at it and arguing. And it's so tense because you think the two other guys are going to force themselves on these other girls too, and you're just kind of scared. And then they walk out, and some stuff happens. And I think the action was really cool. I thought that the emotional drama scenes were great, and there wasn't a lot of them. It was, it was a lot of action, but as a fall, I guess, action drama movie, to where it wasn't all about the explosions and stuff, and it was kind of cool to see those characters develop and see what they became. So I really liked Fury. I thought it was a great film. Yeah, so that was probably my favorite movie of last year. Guardians was great too. I saw Godzilla. Godzilla was crap. Uh, I could go on a whole tirade about Godzilla. Dude, Godzilla's awful. Chat, should I talk about Godzilla? You guys want to hear me rant about Godzilla? I got a lot about Godzilla. Oh boy, howdy, do I have a lot about Godzilla. I, I'm gonna go off on this film if I get a yes confirmation from the chat. Okay, well, I'm gonna go off on my Godzilla tirade, so prepare yourselves, chat. Oh, I'm on my favorite map, and I'm talking about my least favorite movie of the year. Let's go, baby. Let's go. So, I I absolutely hated the Godzilla movie. I saw the trailer, I think in December of the year previous, I want to say, and I was like, what? Yes, that looks incredible. And I was like super pumped, and I was like, this is awesome. Godzilla's awesome. I've seen the OG Godzilla. Godzilla! And I loved it. And it's a great movie. It's like so goofy and campy, but it's fun. And it's just like this monster just destroying stuff, and it's got like the classic like, Inception sound that every movie has to have now, which is kind of annoying, but it really fit well. And there's a crazy shot of him like doing the roar over the Chinese like lanterns, and it kind of gave that Asian feel, and it was so cool. And I was like, oh, this movie's gonna be awesome. And then the movie came out. I went with a good buddy of mine to go see it, and man, was that a bad movie. Oh man, I did not like that movie. My problem with the movie was after the trailer came out, which everyone liked, and all that kind of stuff, they started to build it as a Bryan Cranston film. Bryan Cranston, who from Breaking Bad was the main character, and was just coming off the success of the season finale and all that. They just wrapped the TV show, so he jumped on board to be in the Godzilla movie, which everyone was like, what? Bryan Cranston in a movie? And everyone was like super excited for it because like that's awesome. Like Bryan Cranston's the man. Like I haven't seen all his work. Like Malcolm in the Middle's awesome, but like I heard really good things about Breaking Bad, and the 10 minutes he's in that movie, it's awesome. Spoiler alert, he dies quickly at the end of the first act because, tension or something. He gave a really good monologue right in the middle of it about how they didn't find this out or why they're denying him his life work and all this stuff because he lives in Japan, and because he worked at a power plant where his wife died during a nuclear catastrophe in the 90s, early 2000s, and he's been investigating it ever since and hasn't trusted anything that's been told to him because he knows that the nuclear reactor wouldn't just malfunction on its own. Like they ran that facility very well, and he's trying to discover why it happens. So they go to the nuclear power plant, him and his son, who's the kid from Kick-Ass, the main character, who got super buff and, didn't look anything like the Kick-Ass kid. He looked really generic, which was another complaint of mine, was the main character wasn't inspiring at all. He didn't look... Night of Museum Talk is next, don't worry, chat. He just didn't have a good look of a main character, which main character is Godzilla in a Godzilla movie. But, yeah, he just, like, mopes around a lot, and, like, he has a family with the Osborne girl, another blonde girl, that's the third we've talked about tonight. But she looked good. She was okay in the movie. She was his wife, and she kind of moped around. She was like a nurse, too, which was kind of weird. And, yeah, I don't know. Kick-Ass Kid was annoying. The majority of the movie was just about this kid, like, who could, like, defuse bombs who was just like running around like trying to help, but he like couldn't really do anything, and I don't know. It was really confusing. And then Godzilla doesn't show up until I want to say 50 minutes of screen time pass before Godzilla actually shows up, and he only shows up briefly. It's like him swimming or something, or it's him in Hawaii, and like
UAV on standby.
he's like swimming along, just hanging out, just being Godzilla. Like what?
Losing Alpha.
And they focus more on the kaiju and the other, not the kaiju. What? I don't know. I'm not really big in the Godzilla lore, but I don't know. He just they focus a lot of time on like there's two monsters that Godzilla ends up fighting at the end, who like one flies and is the male, and the other is the female who walks, and they're trying to make babies, and they need nuclear waste to make babies or something, or to like survive. So like one escapes from Area 51, and the other one was the one at the what's it called? At the nuclear plant where Bryan Cranston dies for some reason, and it's dumb, and they just like walk around and people like panic, and no one has any emotion that entire movie. The only emotion shown is Bryan Cranston character, and the last time you see it is when he gives his monologue, which is an incredible monologue, and it's like he's so heart torn and just beaten down by the whole situation. And it's really cool, and it's a really awesome scene. And I really enjoyed it, and I appreciated it because it was really good. But it was just not a good movie. Godzilla really didn't do anything until the end. There was only one good fight scene. In a 2.5-hour movie, Godzilla was only on screen for 9 minutes. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube. So, I don't know. It wasn't a movie that I expected. I don't know. Another movie I saw recently was Night at the Museum. And boy howdy, was that a good movie, actually. I really appreciated that movie. The original Night at the Museum came out in like 2004, I think. Yeah, because I checked before I saw it. 2004, 2005, somewhere in that range. And the second one I never saw. It was Night at the Smithsonian. But it looked super generic, and I don't think it got a very good rating. It was just a classic comedy, like, sequel, which is just the same movie with, like, generally the same jokes that no one appreciates because it's bad. But, and then I went and saw the third one, and I hadn't seen the first one in God knows how many years. But, it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. They went to, like, England or something. Like, the tablet that controls everything in the museum, like, was corroding, and they had to go to Ahmed Ra's parents in England, who are at the English Museum in London, to like figure out what was going on and how to fix it. And it was really cool. I forgot about all those characters. I forgot about the Wilson kid and the dude who plays the Roman, who I don't remember what else he was in, but he's been in stuff, and he's a really good actor. Genghis Khan, who's a badass, like really funny. And, you know, Ben Stiller's okay in the movie, I guess. His performance doesn't, like, blow you away or anything. Please don't disconnect me. Okay, cool. Like, it's, you know, it's alright. He supplements. Like, it's all about the other characters, really. He's just kind of there to let them do their thing and be funny. So, like, it was, you know, it was a nice little wrap-up. I didn't think it was a necessary movie to be made. I thought it was fun. I thought it was cute. It was pretty funny. My favorite part of the movie is at the very end with Robin Williams. It's his last scene ever in a movie that he filmed. And they pretty much redid the first shot of when he scares Ben Stiller's night guard character the first time everyone comes to life. And it was a really sweet moment, and I really appreciated it because, I don't know. It was really nice because we lost Williams this year. But, you know, it was a fun movie. They met Lancelot, who's this goofy kind of character. Like, he thought he was trying to, like, find Prince Arthur and trying to get back to Guinevere. King Arthur. He was trying to get back to Guinevere and couldn't accept the fact that he wasn't real. And that was, you know, it was really funny to see that. Like, an English actor take on such a silly movie. And it was just fun. It was a fun, dumb Christmas movie that came out. That if you've seen the first one, I don't know about the second one. I've heard mixed things, but like if you've seen the first one and you appreciated it and you remember watching it when you were younger, it's definitely a movie to go see because, you know, it's just lighthearted, it's fun, and the characters are really cool. Like, they're super one-dimensional, but they're really cool. Like, the two little tiny guys, like the Wilson and the Roman, are freaking hilarious. Like, they're so goofy, and they think they're bigger than they are, and they're just happy to be there, and just, their friendship and dynamic's really cool to watch.
Kill confirmed.
Genghis Khan is just so lovable and so silly. It's just an all-around good movie. It, by no means is it like IMDb top 150, but it's like, it's interesting. It's an interesting movie if you've seen the first one, and like it has some pretty good laughs. Lancelot's hilarious. There's a pretty funny cameo by a certain superhero. I'm not gonna say much more, but yeah, it was a fun little movie. It was harmless. I think is the best way to describe it. I think, you know, if it's on Netflix, it's definitely a watch. If it's available, if it's on cable TV or something, give it a look. So that's the movie portion of the live stream tonight. Hope everyone's having a good time. I'm gonna take a break and get some water. I'm killing this lobby, so I'm gonna stay in it. So be right back.